I came across a definition in the fourth edition of Black's, and at first I never really got my head around it, but it definitely aroused some thought. And it was under the definition legal conclusion. So I went under legal conclusion, at least that subject matter, and then the definition was a statement of legal duty without stating fact from which duty arises. Now, we've already talked about this is the beginning document that starts the whole thing off, the statement that the parents fill out. Can't harm the child, has some confidential information in there and public. Now, the private confidential information is really a fact because we've already defined that surname is a name added to one's real name, so we know the truthful name or the given name or the factual name of the child in reality is that given name. Later can become a Christian name based on surrendering that to Christ. But the surname is definitely not real. It's in the legal system, the make-believe, the pretend, man's law, positive law. So when it says legal conclusion is a statement of legal duty without stating fact from which duty arises, you can understand that they would not be allowed on this document to be able to prove where the reality given name, which would be the fact, that's the only fact that's on there. The surname on its own is just fiction. So how could they ever prove where the origin of the legal duty would come from when it just sits on its own with no attachment? We've even explained in the Vital Statistics Act that there was no requirement of the parent to put the child's given name on it. It was just a choice they did. And in fact, the legal registration only deals with the legal surname. That is the birth registration. The other name could have been left out because that's private and confidential. It actually mars the record. So we know it does lead later to induced labor, which is what the state does, a little bit of inducement into the labor force. But overall, as it sits there, that's why the legal conclusion defines it as a statement of legal duty. Duty can be tax, obligations, without stating fact from which the duty arises, because the only fact that's in that title name could only have been the given name. Their surname is not a fact, it's factitious. And where does a factitious item come from, other than from someone's head of make-believe? So therefore, where would the duty arise from? Very interesting thought on that. Take a look at that, and hopefully you'll understand a little more when you listen to the video a few times.